Okay, that is what it's called. That's called cross lines.
After the forensics of the diesel coming through the engine shed, Carl went to see some of the other engines. Most of the Fat Controller's engines accepted diesels. James had never liked them. They're all right, said Henry. Just mixed traffic engines like you and me. Mixed up engines, you mean? James grunted. With windows at each end, how can they know if they're coming or going? Toby has 2 cabs, remarked Duck, and he gets it all right. Toby's just a little engine, scoffed James. If an important engine like me didn't know which way to turn, what would the railway come to? All the engines agreed that James was becoming much too puffed up in his smoke box. Making out his royalty or something, grumbled Henry. It's disgusting. I knew an engine called King James, remarked Duck. In the old days at Paddington, King James and he didn't swank about like that. Ooch! Didn't you tell him that to James? Pleaded Donald. It's even Mayor of the Misery. He'll make an over all our lives. Exactly, agreed Henry. But who's going to trim his wheels for him?
Och, don't be telling James that, pleaded Donald. It's either Mayor or Misery who'll be making our lives.
The engines tried all sorts of ideas, but nothing worked. James grew so conceited that the others were glad that it was away. Even the coaches twittered anxiously to each other, if they thought he was pull them. One day James came to the shed, fuming with rage. Shunting, he snorted. Where are Donald and Douglas? They should be here for jobs like that. But the twins were helping on Edward's branch line, so James had to do the work himself. James' train had long trucks called whirl wagons.
You can hear Haunted Henry in Polish, pushing trucks and have a crash.
Yeah, these have bogie wheels at each end with low section between them. They are used to carry cars, tractors and other heavy machinery. The shunting should have been easy, but James was to cross and bump tracks. Oh, they cried. Some of them slipped their brakes on to spite James. The weather was damp and misty too, so the shunting took a long time. At last, James had only 2 trucks to fetch before his train was ready. Because of the mist, the signalman sometimes found it hard to see what was happening. James' driver told him that James would whistle when he collected all the trucks and would clear the points.
And the car watched it.
And the car watched it. They had almost finished when suddenly James heard a sharp beep beep from another engine close by. The signaller heard it too and thought it was James saying he was ready. He pulled the lever, setting the points to the main line. But James wasn't ready. The points changed and one of the trucks was halfway over them. One bogie went right way, but the other was diverted towards the main line before James realised that the truck was travelling sideways between 2 lines. The signal stuck in its path. Stop! Squealed the truck.
Look!
But it was too late. The signal toppled to the ground with the crash.
And the car went to escape!
Just missing. That's torn it, said James's driver. The Fat Controller won't like that. He didn't. He spoke severely about it because the signal was important and it lost what's convenient. James knew the accident was not his fault, but he was usually quiet in the shed that evening.
And the car nearly had an accident, went to escape.
Yes. I suppose it must be difficult to know which way to go when you have 2 cabs, whispered a voice. But to go 2 ways at once with only 1 cab, that really is something. James pretended he hadn't heard. The end.
Right, to be continued.